Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Summer here bringing you episode 17 of Platinum End.
So we have some movement here where now we have 4 out of 5 of the remaining god candidates that are going to be taking part in this plan to have a civilized, calm chat about who is going to become god.
If this anime had taken a different route and then got to this place, I would have been looking forward to it. But as it stands, I've had 2 episodes of Mirai running around acting like Batman and holding his hand forward at people. Do you get what I mean? What kind of civilized conversation are you going to have when 2 of them have nukes and the rest of you don't? Where's the civilized conversation coming at? And no one knows what Susumu's intentions are. So, like, it might be interesting, but they keep killing the interest with the lack of urgency and movement. It's just not hitting the mark, okay, guys? It's just not hitting the mark for me. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get sick and tired of it, to be fair.
Well, I can't remember her name, but the female god candidate that's left, we now know how she actually got caught, because last time we were saying, like, this doesn't make sense how she got caught. She was actually advised by her angel to get caught on purpose. Now, I'm unsure of why that is, but it makes more sense. Like the last couple of episodes when the god candidates have been flying away, instead of them flying away really fast, a lot of the time they're showing it looking more like teleportation, where they just disappear.
Yeah.
Instead of you actually seeing them fly away. So they're going extremely fast.
The speed of light.
So it just didn't make sense for her to just easily get caught like that. But still, we don't know if she has wings, but we do know that she intentionally got caught. The reason why, unknown.
Her getting caught is cool. Her actually giving herself in actually makes sense, sort of, to me, because it's about to go down. Your angel was saying it's about to go down. None of this has ever happened before. You're taking advice from the only person who has a bit of a clue about anything, and they're telling you that this is the best option. You're going to follow. It makes sense. What doesn't make sense is, I've seen all of these god candidates, and I'm talking about Makaido, Mirai, Metropoliman, and Saki, just be in the building 1 minute and fly out and then get out of the building. Now, are you telling me all those buildings had a window open or a door open? Do you get what I mean? Somehow they got through. She's talking about how can I escape? I'm sure she can. Like, do you get what I mean? Because that would be intellectually consistent, right? Because we've seen them go into Marai's house. We've seen them go into Saki's house before she got the church or whatever it was. We've seen them kind of movement. So do you get what I mean? Surely there'll be some consistency here, right? And she will be able to escape. So then why is she talking about that she can't escape? I don't get it.
So Shuji is a new character.
we're just gonna okay, cool.
I have no answer.
Neither do I. That's why I asked the question.
Be there. What I don't understand is that a few episodes back, all of the god candidates met up. This is after Metropoliman died. All of the god candidates, yeah. All of the angels actually met up together, and they were discussing about the god candidacy and who's going to be god and stuff. If they all knew they were going to meet, why didn't the angels just collect the thoughts of their god candidates and discuss that at the meeting? Like, they already met up. So even if you don't know who all of the god candidates are, you could have gotten a little bit closer to deciding who is going to take this position, but they didn't do that. And then, okay, if they're not going to do that, they could have easily set up another time to meet up with their actual god candidates, so that they wouldn't have to be running around trying to discover who the last one is. They wouldn't have to do that, because all of the angels would just bring their god candidates along to a place that's already discussed beforehand, and they could have done this way before it deteriorated into this point where the government is now chasing everything down. Also, on top of that, since the government's involvement is kind of inconvenient, why doesn't the current god just wipe everyone's memories? You're God, I'm sure you can do that.
Oh, you talking about the same guy who had left the world as it is? Okay, I'm just saying, I mean, if you're asking him to help you out, I mean...
Okay, fair enough.
There's
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah.
Got it. So then there's Shuji, who's just come along. He was the god candidate who was killing all of the people around him, and was so obviously going to get caught, but he of course doesn't care because he wants to kill himself anyway. Well, he says he wants to, but in his own words, he found that the people saying that they want to kill themselves the most are actually the people who will say, actually, no, I don't really want to die. So using his own words, he's probably also one of those people, and he actually doesn't want to die, and he's just saying it lots.
I didn't even think about that. I couldn't get over the fact that he looks like Elle. And it was really annoying me because it came off so intellectual. Look, I'm not against his thinking about unaliving himself and the freedom that comes with that. I believe that if you truly want to, you should be allowed to, and no laws should, stop you from doing that. That's my personal opinion. But don't come with your pretentious bullshit thinking that you're some sort of, hand of mercy and doing it. Because if you were, you're only targeting the people around you. You're not targeting the world en masse. You're not traveling across the world and doing it to everyone, are you? You're lying. Standard. You're selfish. You have your own desires, and everything you said has been hypocritical the whole time. And that's cool. You're a kid. That's fine. But don't give him Elle's character design and then give him pseudo-intelligence. Elle was actually a bad man, and I kind of feel offended a little.
Well, yeah, like you said, he is a child. The whole thing about him looking like Elle, in all honesty, when I watched it, I didn't think that once. But now that you do say it, it kind of does make me think he does look a bit like Elle. But that wasn't my thoughts when seeing him, so I think we should just see him as a totally separate character because he's not the same. Maybe the drawing is looks kind of similar, but I think that's just because he was sitting, he had the blankets around his head, he's sitting down on the floor constantly in the sitting position, his hair is in the same kind of way, same kind of colour. Okay, I do get where you're going with it, but let's steer away from that a little bit. Yeah, let's just see him as himself. He's a child who has these, like you said, selfish, childish viewpoints, and it doesn't really make sense. Like he even said, the people that he killed didn't actually ask to die.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on top of it, his mom might not have wanted to, but because rules of the Red Arrow, if you've done enough things to the person where you feel like you deserve that, then you will kill yourself, and that's what obviously happened in the case of his own mom. His character is nothing to me right now, but he has only just been introduced, and he might be more interesting along the line as we go down to figure out who is actually going to become God. I feel like they've steered this in a way where the only person that could possibly be God is going to be Mirai. Everybody knows him. Everyone's seen his feats. He's the only person that actually went up against Metropoliman and actually won. So I feel like the God candidates are going to want to accept him unless we have this one person who we don't know about. They are really like a massive question mark. We have no idea what kind of person this one is and what their own desires are. So I feel like, if anything, the one that we don't know is the only person that can really throw a spanner in the works. Or, as you said, Susumu, who we don't really know his intentions, but then again, he is just a little kid and I can't really see anybody else really listening to what he has to say.
I'm a fan for Susumu. I want him to be the God candidate. He likes to play jokes. He likes to play games. And if you have a plan, I'm pretty sure he'll mess it up. So he's a shoo-in for the actual thing. So I feel like Susumu should be the God candidate.
Oh my gosh, but don't you want something better instead of trying to just do the same?
But we don't know no better. Like, who knows any better? What is better? Because, like, not only is being X trying to...
Stop.
Okay, not only is God doing his thing, human beings are also jumping in the fray as well. What's he going to do? Wipe everything and start again? Do you get what I mean? Then he'll be exactly like... So... Fam, Susumu for the win. That's what I'm saying so far. I can't trust Mirai to do a good job.
Well, Mirai's viewpoint is slowly shifting little by little. Instead of being so rigid, he is actually allowing other people's viewpoints to sort of sway his own. Not in a bad way either, but just in more of a way where it's growth, where he can see that his opinion isn't the only one. The way that he started, he felt as if his viewpoints were the only fact and the only way to think, the only right way. But now he's actually taking on board other people's opinions and acting as if he's not the only person that exists and he's not the only person that can be right about things, which is good. It's just happening very slowly. I still don't think that he's a great god. I really do think that Makaido would have been the best person to become god.
Or Metropolitan.
Well, you know, Metropolitan went off on the deep end and he got really crazy. And on top of that, he looked at his sister a little bit too nastily. I don't know what kind of world that dude would have. Hide your kids and hide your wife. Seriously. I would not be having him as God.
I agree with what you're saying. However, if we look at the history of gods and gods in different cultures... and
don't bring up Zeus. We know he was a nasty and he's not the only one. We get it. That doesn't mean that just because that's what we've seen, that's what we should have more of. Personally, I think being a god would be a very hard job, and I think that it would be hard to actually get it right.
You've been watching too much Tanya the Evil. Don't feel sorry for no gods, fam. I'm sorry.
So, what do you guys think? Like, what would you do as a god? Like, if you had the opportunity to become god, what would you do? And do you think it would be easy to change the world for the better, or do you think it would be harder than it looks?
Yeah, leave that in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
And if you made it this far, thank you so much.
Peace.